Good morning, everyone. So far, we learned so much on fractions: addition, subtraction of like fractions, equivalent fractions, proper fractions, improper fractions, mixed numbers, how to convert a mixed number into improper fractions, how to convert improper fraction into mixed numbers, and how to convert mixed numbers into improper fractions as well. Today, I am going to do a new type on fractions. Okay, this is fractions part 5. Okay, let's start. Fractions part 5. Fractions part 5. Fractions part 5. That is addition and subtraction. Okay, we'll do addition only. Addition of unlike fraction. What are these unlike fractions? Okay, unlike fractions means, for an example, fractions with different denominators, where 2 is different from 4, or maybe 6 is different from 8, or maybe 10 is different from 20, where the denominators are different. Okay, 10 is different to 20, 2 is different to 4, 6 is different to 8. Such as like this. Numerators can be equal, cannot be equal. It depends. But if the denominators are unequal, those are called unlike fractions. Okay. When it comes to like fractions, for an example, something like this. Okay, what we are doing is we are adding numerators 1 and 1, 2, and denominator stays the same. But here we have different method. Different method means little longer method. First of all, we have to check whether the greater denominator is a multiple of the smaller denominator. Okay, first of all, we have to check. If there are only two fractions, first what we have to do is we have to check whether the bigger denominator is a multiple of smaller denominator. Okay, so here, of course, 4 is a multiple of 2, or 2 is a factor of 4. As 4 is a multiple of 2, we can take 4 as the common denominator. Okay, there are two methods. First is making half into an equivalent fraction of denominator 4. Okay, so we have to make half with a denominator of 4. Okay, hence 2 must be a 4 as well. How can we make 2 a 4? Okay, suppose if we multiply 2 by 2, we get 4. Don't forget, if we are going to multiply denominator by 2, we have to do the same thing to the numerator. Hence it is 2 out of 4. Okay, half and quarter, when we are to add half and quarter, we have to find the common denominator. Okay, so we have to make 2 a 4 here, because 4 is a multiple of 2. So what I am going to do is I am going to multiply denominator by 2, hence it becomes 4. If we multiply denominator by 2, numerator also has to be multiplied by 2, hence it is 2 out of 4. Now we can add like fractions. Unlike fractions we can't add, but like fraction can be added. as we convert half into 2 out of 4, okay, like this, okay, now we can add, because equal denominators, so we can add 2 and 1 together, 3, 3 out of 4 is the answer. But there's a better method, okay, without going that further, okay, okay, 2 and 4, like in the previous case, 4 is the common denominator. Why? 4 is a multiple of 2, or 2 is a factor of 4. Okay, as 4 is a multiple of 2, we take 4 as the common denominator. Now we have to find how many 2's are there in 4. How many 2's are there in 4? 2 times what is 4? How many 2's are there in 4? 2 2's are there in 4. Okay, 2 2's are there in 4. Okay, 2 2's. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to multiply this 2 by 1. There are 4, there are 2 2's, then you have to multiply that 2 by 1, which is equal to 2. Then we have to find how many 4's are there in 4. How many 4's? 1 4. Then 1 times 1 is 1. So answer is 3 out of 4. Again, half and quarter. Common denominator is 4. Okay, because 4 is a multiple of 2. Now we have to check how many 2's are there in 4. How many 2's? 2 2's. 2 2's times 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Plus, then how many 4's are there in 4? 1. Then 1 times 1. So it will be 2 plus 1 over 4. Answer is 3 over 4. Keep it in mind. We will do more questions. Then you will be in a position to understand regarding this more. 2/3 plus 1/6. Okay, how can we do this? Here also 6 is a multiple of 3. Okay, as 6 is a multiple of 3, we can make 6 as the common denominator. Then we have to check how many 3's are there in 6. How many 3's? 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, 3 times 2 is 6, and we have to multiply this 2 by the numerator. 2 times 2 plus how many 6's are there in 6? 1. Now we have to multiply 1 with the numerator. So the answer is 2 times 2, 4 plus 1. 1 times 1, 1. So the answer here, 4 and 1 together, 5 out of 6. This is the answer. Okay, we will do another sum. Half plus 3 out of 8. Okay, now we have to check whether it is a multiple of 2. Is it a multiple of 2? Yes, not 2 times 4 is 8. So we can take 8 as the common denominator. Now we have to check how many 2's are there in 8. 2 times what is 8? 2 times 4 is 8. Now we have to multiply this 4 by 1, which is equal to 4. Then we have to check how many 8's are there in 8. 1 8. Then 1 times 3 is 3. So it will be 7 over 8. This is the answer. 2 more questions with the same time. One sixth plus 5, 12. Okay, 12 is a multiple of 6. So we can easily take 12 as the common denominator. 6 times what is 12? 2. So there are 2 6s in 12. Now we have to multiply 2 by 1, which is equal to, then we have to find how many 12s are there in 12. That is 1. 1 times 5 is 5. For 12 there are 1 12 and 1 times 5 5. So the answer here is 7 or 12. This is the answer. One more sum. One third plus 712 or 750. Okay, 15 is a multiple of 3. 3 times 5 is 15. So we can take 15 as the common denominator. Okay, now we have to check how many 3's are there in 50. How many 3's? How many 3's? 3 times 5 is 50. Now we have to multiply 5 by the numerator. 5 times 1 is 5 plus how many 15's in 15? 1. 1 times 7 is 7. So 5 and 7 together, 12. 12 out of 15 is the answer. Is this the final answer? Now there's another question. Is this the final answer? I taught you about the simplest form. Simplest form means the lowest form of equivalent fractions. Okay, there are equivalent fractions for each fraction. So, but we have to give them in its lowest form. So, first we have to check the common factor of 12 and 15. What is it? Both are divisible by 3. Okay, so here 12 means 3 times 4, 15 means 3 times 5. So 4 out of 5 is the lowest form of it. First we have to find the common factor with what these are. Both of these can be divided by 3. So the lowest form is 4 out of 5. Next. Next is something like this. 2 over 3 plus 1 over 5. Okay, here 5 is not a multiple of 3. 5 is not a multiple of 3. At a situation like this, we have to find the least common multiple of these two denominators, or least common denominator. So we have to do the division method to find the least common denominator or least common multiple. Okay, I taught you how to find least common multiple if 2 or 3 numbers are given. 3 and 5. Okay, so we have to do the prime factorization. Prime factorization and division. 3 and 5, so the lowest prime number is 2. Okay, lowest prime number is 2. Both are not divisible by 2. So we have to go to next prime number. What is the next prime number? 3. 3 is divisible by 3, hence it is 1. But 5 is not divisible by 3. So we have to keep the 5 the way it is. Now we have to divide again by 3. Can't, na? Because 5 is not divisible by 3. So the next prime number is 5. So 1 is there, 5 by 5, 1. So the least common multiple or least common denominator is, okay, 3 times 5 times 1 times 1, no, 3 times 5, which is equal to 50. Okay, no need of 1 times 1. 3 times 5 is 50. So here the least common denominator or least common multiple is 50. Now we have to check how many 3's are there in 50. 3 times 5 is 50. Okay, 3 times 5 is 15, and we have to multiply this 5 by 2. 3 times 5 is 5 times 2 is 10. Now we have to check how many 5s are there in. How many 5s? If we divide 15 by 5, 5 times 3 is 15. So we have to multiply 1 by 3. So 3 times 1 is 3. So here the answer is 13 out of 15. We will try another sum. Okay, we will try another sum. Okay, suppose a sum like this. 1 half plus 5 7. Okay, how can we do this? 7 is not a multiple of 2. So we have to find the least common denominator. 2 and 7. Okay, least prime factor is 2. So we have to divide both by 2 because 2 is divisible by 2. 2 divisible by 2 means this is 1. As 7 is not divisible by 2, we have to keep the 7 the way it is. Because it's kind of prime factorizational division. So in this type of division, we want to divide 7 by 2. If 7 is not divisible by 2, we have to keep the 7 the way it is. Now we have to check whether which number we can divide 7. Next prime factor is 3. 7 is not divisible by 3. After that, the next prime factor is 5. We can't divide 7 by 5 as well. Then we have to go to the next prime number, that is 7. We will keep the one the way it is. 7 is 7 times 1. So, least common denominator here is 7 times 2. Answer is 40. So, we have to take 14 as the common denominator. Now we have to check how many 2's are there in 40. How many 2's? 2 times 7 is 40. Then we have to multiply 7 by 1. The numerator. 7 times 1 is 7. Plus how many 7's are there in 40? 2, na? Hence 5 times 2 is 10. So answer is 17 out of 40. Okay. Next. Next is kind of a different kind of question. That is 1/4 plus 3/4 plus 1/6. 6 is not a multiple of 4. So we have to go to prime factorization, null division method. 4 and 6. Now we have to do the prime factorization. What is the least factor, least prime factor? 2. And 4 and 6 both are divisible by 2. 4 means 2 times 2. 6 means 2 times 3. Again we can divide by 2 because there is another 2 here, or a multiple of 2 here. So 2 times 1 and 3. And there is a 3 here. Okay, next prime factor is 3 and 3 is divisible by 3 and 3. So least common denominator here means 2 times 2 times 3. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 3 is 12. So we can take 12 as the common denominator here. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 3 is 12. So least common denominator here is 12. How many 4's are there in 12? 3 4's. So 3 times 3 means 9. Now we have to check how many 6's are there in 12. How many 6's? 2 6's. So this is 2 times 1, answer is 2. So here the answer is 11 out of 12. Next. Next is 3, 8 plus 3, 10. Okay, 10 is not a multiple of 8. So we have to do the prime factorizational method. Okay, so divisional method, we have to divide both by 2 because both are divisible by 2. 4 and 5. Again, we can divide by 2 because 4 is a multiple of 2. 2 times 2, 2 times 5. Again, we can divide by 2 because there's a 2 here. 2 times 1, 2 times 5. We can't divide 5 by 3, but 5 can be divided by 5. So 1 and 1. Okay, first we have to divide 8 and 10 by the least prime factor, which is 2. So 8 means 2 times 4, 10 means 2 times 4. Then 4 can be divided by 2 as well, the least prime factor. 2 and 5 won't divisible by 2, so we keep the 5 the way it is. Again we can divide by 2 because 2 is divisible by 2. So 1 and 5 then can't be divided by 3, so we have to divide 5 by 5. So least common denominator or least common multiple here means 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 times 5. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 5 means 40. So here the common denominator is 40. Okay. Again, this common denominator is 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 times 5. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 5. 8 times 5 is 40. Now we have to check how many 8s are there in 40. How many 8s? Tables. 8 times 5 is 40. So 5 times 3 is 50. Now we have to check how many 10s are there in 40. How many 10s? 4 10. So 4 times 3 is 12. Now we have to add 15 and 12 altogether 27 out of 40. This is the answer. Final sum. Seven 20 plus 7/30, or we can write 11/30. Okay, so here 20 and 30. Okay, 30 is not a multiple of 20, so we have to try the divisional method. 2, 10 and 15, again 2, 5 and 50, then by 3 because 15 is divisible by 3, 5 and 5, then by 5. Okay, 20 and 30 both are divisible by the least prime factor by 2. Then we get 10 and 50. 10 is divisible by 2 as well, so we get 5 and 50. Then 15 is divisible by next prime factor, next smallest prime factor, that is 3. 5 keep this way it is, 15 is 3 times. Both are not divisible by neither 3 nor 2, so we have to divide by 5, next prime factor. So it is like this. So least common denominator here means, so least common multiple here is 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. So 2 times 2 is 4 times 3 times 5. 4 times 3 is 12 times 5 is 60. So here least common denominator is 60. Now we have to take how many 20s are there. How many 20s? 60 divided by 20. How many 20s? 20 times 3 is 60. So 3 times 7 means 21. Then we have to check how many 30s are there in there. How many 30s? Okay. How many 30s? Okay, that way even possible, but still you are small, but because of that I am not taking that. 30 times 2 is 60. So you have to multiply 11 by 2. So it will be 11 times 2, 22. Okay. 2 and 1, 3, 2 and 2, 4. Answer is 43/6. And that's it for today. Thank you very much.